It's not real unless CNN says it. You can hear it on any other channel, any other news network. And unless CNN says it, it's not real.
It's interesting that you say that it's false until it's on CNN. That has not been my experience, especially even growing up in like public schools in Southern California. You even ask people like that if they think CNN would it air more on the side of the left or on the right or in the middle. Most people would say that it's on the left.
Well, that's an unscientific survey. I think according to the scientific surveys, it's actually the opposite of what you say. CNN has huge brand identity and a huge trust factor, not only in America, but in the world. It's the largest news organization. I believe it's the largest news organization. Which surveys?
Who conducted those surveys?
I don't know. If you look at when folks do surveys about media or brand loyalty, and they do it all the time. They do study groups, they do test groups, they do focus groups, and you can look at, like Rasmussen will do a poll, and I'm not sure if that's a legitimate one, or Ipsos or any of those folks will do Nielsen will do a poll. So it's organizations like that, but CNN is among the most trusted news organizations.
Now, overall, it seems like we looked at a survey that found that trust in mainstream media is declining. Yeah. Do you have any idea why that is?
I just said, I think it's one, because institutions are being attacked. Two, I think because we need media literacy. Three, I think it's because the news has become formulaic and people know what they're kind of going to get, and you don't really get down into the weeds like you can on this podcast and you can in independent media. Also, they are reliant upon advertisers. It has become anodyne where, if you really want to step out and say something that has a different perspective, people are afraid to do that now because they're afraid of getting fired. They're afraid that some overlord or boss or some shareholder in the company is not going to like it, and then they're going to have it out for you, and you're going to be gone. I think that's why. I think it's just become really anodyne, and it's become, what do you think? What do you think? Yeah. And no one challenges anyone.
Part of me thinks that...
I shouldn't say no one, but rarely do people challenge.
Part of me thinks that there's just more options for news.
That's part of it.
And I get a lot of my news from Reddit. And it's been, I know, but it's one of those things where you could read different perspectives. And if something is posted, you get like all these opinions.
People on Reddit can be, it's like the extremes of the spectrum. You get really smart people and then really dumb people.
Yeah. On all ends. And so I like to
that's
read.
Good. I agree. I think that you should, but I think you should get your news from a number of different sources and not just one source. You should be on more than just Reddit, right?
No, I am.
Reddit, when you're on Reddit, you're like reading the do your own research crowd, which is not always the most accurate.
Yeah. I mean, usually what I see is like, if it's posted on CNBC, it's also posted on Reddit. It's also posted on Yahoo. And
they usually link back to
right.
It's not just kind of unsubstantiated claims and stuff.
Yeah, Reddit always.
I'm on Reddit, so I know there's everything on there. But I think you should read the New York Times. I think you should read the Wall Street Journal.
I think
you should. I think you should read the Financial Times. I think you should read LA Times. You should read as much as possible. I think you should watch CNN. You should watch MSNBC. If you can stomach it, I think you can watch Fox. I used to watch a lot more Fox. But then during the MAGA era, I just can't, because it's hardly anything that, is informative. It doesn't inform me as a viewer, as a citizen.
I think if Fox News is one of the strongest arguments for the other sides, at least you can say that via their viewership and the amount of people that are aware of it. I think it's really important to have a really balanced media diet. And I wouldn't say to people that they should only really tune into like, I don't know, who's like a more moderate on the right thing, because I feel like they're not very popular. Right. Like, I think it's important to continually, like, you watch CNN, you watch Fox, you watch this and that.
I agree.